Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Homes and Gardens. This is March 1967, a mere 54, 55, whatever, quite a few years ago. March 1967, 3 shillings it was as well. Look at a lovely illustration. Wish they would do that more often now. Just never do covers with these lovely drawings. I think just some do, but very few. So you've got some great articles, and I'll quickly show you the contents because they've got the contents conveniently at the front, which is always very handy, so you can see all the various articles, fiction, features, furnishing and decorations, household and cookery, etc. there. And also a lot of these adverts. I love all the adverts. You've got all these wall furniture. Obviously you've got the TV sets there, great TV set. Of course, you never see computers in these because of 1967. So it's just a completely different. Whenever you watch old TV, I quite often end up looking not just at the people. You end up looking at all the background, what's all sort of the furnishings they've got and things. Maybe I shouldn't be looking at. Maybe I should be watching the actual what's happening. But it's quite like when you look on things and you can see all the streets and things. I love looking at the shops, all the signage of the shop as well and things. Just, however, the book, back to the book in hand. So you've got here lots of gas heating as well. Very popular, and carpets. Lots of carpet adverts as well. Obviously immensely popular. They are the G plan. You've got Outlook here. Children holiday ventures, exciting occupations. You've got here science in the home. You've also got books, the ski expert's way, and also ventilation, all those sort of things, which I suppose is not to be, it is Homes magazine. Wouldn't it be very surprising if they didn't have some ads for those sort of things? You've got stag bedroom furnishing, again, quality things, just brilliant pictures of the houses. And you can just see how the house has changed. Quite often when you look at these ones, got magazines from 1960s, the early 1960s, and then you look at it later, does a lot of change. Whether the normal sort of average person's house changed that much, I don't know. I must admit, when I look back at pictures of my old house, it didn't change that much. For all the what's the name that was happening in the 60s, little bits of touches here, but I guess that depended on the money, I suppose, in the house. These were obviously all very nice, stylish houses, and obviously the furniture changed a lot, so you get a sort of different impression. It's like when you look at some of the magazines now, you look at them and think, wow, they're really amazing, all these houses. But are most people's houses like that? Maybe they are. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I just enjoy books too much. I've got too many books, so I never... However, the furnishing industry in this country would not survive very well on me. So there you've got Christie kitchens and loads and loads. And I love all these sort of things. Where you've got, look at that lovely green there, lime green. I wonder if that's a popular colour now. I suspect not. Reading for pleasure. That's a great little article as well. You've got a lovely article there. There was always the harp. So you've got pictures, obviously Victorian period. So you've got some lovely, informative sort of illustrations and articles there. And then you've got all the magazines there. Oh, I love that. You've got the Times on the table there. So you've got Apollo magazine, Country Life, just about makeouts. I can't make the other ones out. Something, oh, maybe the Illustrated London News. Yeah, that's in there as well. And you've got Looking North, Yorkshire Homes of Lunatic Fringe by Virginia Graham. And I just love the illustrations of these things. Obviously, they're very much of the time. So you've got this one here. Look at that lovely illustration there. So that's Sweet Sisters. So Rachel Anderson. My favourite town, Westerham, which I probably have been to, but I haven't been to recently. Fairly close by. Maybe I should have a trip. Maybe it's a very lovely place, I'm quite certain. However, you've got birds. I love this one, like Florida orange juice. I remember that, Florida orange juice. And also you've got these pictures of these. Oh, look at that. That is what a very nice, all that chocolate oozing over there. Casserole with beef, and you've got sauces for spaghetti and other pasta. Steamed sponge pudding. Sounds very nice. Pounds, shillings and pence. You've got an advert there talking, obviously, because of course things were probably of that sort of auctions. Of course things were going to be changing fairly soon after this. And obviously we ended up with going 10 pence decimalisation, of course. Then domestic antiques, and you've got here more fashions, and also washing machines, beauty post bag, and obviously lots of also patterns. So you've got lots of patterns there, so you can obviously go through it. I have no idea what all that means. K.2 times or something, asterisk P1. I'm certain that means something to lots of people. However, it doesn't mean anything to me. A gift for Easter. Of course, it's March, so I guess that would be an obvious one. You've also got, again, more about heating services and the Esso heating service. How odd. I guess so. More ones. Warm feet, cold mornings. I suppose March, that's the sort of thing that would be... one trouble with these magazines is quite often they end up with tears because, of course, the way you hold them, unless you hold them really well, I have tendency to end up getting quite a split. And, of course, you've got a lovely... and I guess maybe people would take this out, actually, this bit, because this is an ABC of food and drink and cookery. You've got here scallops, Scotch broth, Scotch woodcock, shallots, sauerkrauts, suma, sardines, samso, common Danish cheese, and so on and so on, saffron. Again, more adverts for boilers and things. Quite amazing adverts for boilers. Now, these are just brilliant. And also book reviews. I love book reviews. Quite often these book reviews are great. Quite often you can go and look for these book reviews, of course, the books themselves. And some are still available, relatively reasonably priced. Though sometimes when you go and look at them, they're ridiculously priced. And you think, I wonder, will anyone ever buy those books ever again? Even though sometimes they sound quite interesting. You think, Royal Command. Oh, look at that lovely yellow. I mean, that's just a glorious yellow. That is just such a garish yellow that would you see that sort of yellow ever again? Some of these ones, furnishing fabrics and many, many more. Oh, it's even got an inquiry service at the back, which is just great. But for me, the thing that I love about these ones more than anything, I think, are the fiction stories. They have the illustrations. I just love, look at that one there. Just glorious. This one's The Long and the Short of It by Malcolm Wood. Just a great little story. Well, I love these ones. These are just brilliant. 1967, 1968, all that sort of period. Obviously 1970s as well. Absolutely fascinating. And of course, these magazines, Homes and Gardens, still going now. So certainly worth checking out. And occasionally I do buy copies of it now. Just to think, you know what, I don't know why. Just suddenly think, well, I'll buy a copy. However, I think these ones are just brilliant. Back in the 60s. Of course, the ones that I don't know if it was going in the 50s and 40s or whatever. Certainly the older ones, just as fascinating as well. So, Homes and Gardens, this one, March 1967. I have actually done a review of 1967 January one. I'm not trying to get the complete set, so this will be it in terms of the 1967. But 1967, of course, Summer of Love, all that sort of period. Beatles, though weirdly, you know what? Didn't find any reference to the Beatles whatsoever in here. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I didn't see any. So, but still, an absolute joy to read. These are lovely little magazines. So, Homes and Garden, March 1967.